for lane swaps if people want to avoid the Kalista Blitz lane. Ooh. A lot of options here.
You're hearing the ooze from the crowd. They're hovering over a Yasuo for either Impact or Xiao. The sigh, as everyone says, nope, it's going to be Xerath. So you're right, it is top lane Lulu after all. The weight is then on Apollo and Xiao to carry the damage here. And of course, plenty of disengage from the Janna.
Super poke comp.
Oh yeah.
But because of the Corki, not a large amount of late game impact from that poke comp. So the Xerath will obviously be a monster late game, but this is more of a Impulse wants to reach a power spike around the 25-minute mark and then really go.
Yeah.
It's actually the same two solo laners Dignitas had in their team composition. This is 4/5 of the Dignitas team that lost earlier with that poke composition, I'm pretty sure. And they just need, they need to force stuff around the 25-minute mark and then try and disengage CLG's tank line as they try and dive in and don't have the tank stats yet to withstand Lulu and Xerath. So hopefully this is a more crisply played version of that similar team composition.
I think there's a good chance for it here. You've got a Scion just to barrel in, though, so Team Impulse will have to be a little bit careful. Counterlogic Gaming to show their mid laner up against Xerath. Long-range siege. They go for Cassiopeia.
City's going in.
Oh, yeah, they are.
That's one thing for sure. Cassiopeia was banned in one of the games today, picking up a ton of steam in the mid lane. In LCK last night, it was banned frequently. It's one of those things that has just caught on very recently. It's actually been nerfed on the live servers. So Link, we'll get to check out those Cassiopeia mechanics.
And interestingly, he's also hovering on Ghost Flash for his summoners. The only real downside that Cassiopeia has is she doesn't move around very fast. Her build tends to be tanky, her damage is plenty high. So hey, let's make sure I get into these fights. Ghost Flash also here for Xiao, covering a fairly similar weakness here with summoner spells. We've got the full lineup. So you said, yep, a disengagey, let's kite back team for Impulse. Counterlogic Gaming a whole bunch of barrels forward.
And damage, and what has been coined apparently the Ballista lane for Kalista Blitzcrank, which I think is pretty catchy. I hope they pull one of those combos off. I mean, if anything, to break a team from a siege, it's a 2,000 range hook.
Yeah, that's going to be all kinds of scary. So the coaches shake hands. They walk themselves off the screen. Of course, Zig's still doing it there for Counterlogic Gaming until Scar takes his place. So what, a week and a half from now?
Was it a 3 or 4 week ban?
3 or 4, I forget exactly, but it's going to be fun when we get everyone in the lineups anyway. As we head on to the Rift, send your picks to @LOL Esports on Twitter with either the hashtag TIPWin or CLGWin. We're going to check back to see who you think is going to take this game later on. Poke versus hard engage and plenty of damage to follow it up. It's going to be tricky, I think, for Impulse to navigate. Their first game with their new lineup. Same for Counterlogic Gaming. And Impact versus Zion is a matchup I also care about quite a bit.
Well, Afromu has been linked with Double Lift now. They're together forever.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
I just love it when compositions clash like this.
Yeah.
Where one team early picks a disengage and then goes all in with the rest of their picks. And instead of just matching it and creating a boring experience, the enemy team decides, we don't care that you can disengage. We're just going to engage you very aggressively. And CLG trying to use the blitz for some early pressure.
And it forces, of course, Impulse to run the heck away, because, yeah, it's a blitz invade. Welcome to how this game works. Impact sneaks in for a nice deep ward. He'll be able to know if anyone starts on the top side here.
Well, one other thing about picking a Scion here is it is really good in lane swaps. What Scions often do in lane swaps will suicide to Wolves, finish it, hit level 2, because the passive will allow you that extra attack speed, no real penalty, teleport back into lane, use his E to get level 3, and just become a brick. Scion in a 1v2 is, by far, I'd say, the best 1v2er in the game. So if that ends up happening, Zion Spartan should have a big CS advantage. I mean, we saw Balls doing it last week.
Yeah?
He accrued a 100 CS advantage over the enemy top laner in small part to that start. That's not what CLG appears to be doing right now, though. They are in a lane swap, but they're not doing the Scion cheese.
Did they just like straight proxy this wave?
Yeah, they definitely did.
What? I really want to see what happens here. So, of course,
they can't go for a freeze at this point. They're going for a fast push.
This turret's going to take itself some damage at the very least. This is still not something I really expected. So here's what's interesting, though. This will actually become a freeze again. they left part of the wave up. This wave's going to die to the turret, and a giant wave's going to build up. Impact is forced to TP early, but he gets hooked! Oh, Impact, no!
And they can kill him on the backside if they do a nice dive, but that means they have to give up the freeze.
God.
This is a difficult decision for CLG. Impact should not get that far!
Oh my God, what just happened? Goodbye, Impact.
And welcome to the North American LCS, apparently. Not a very warm welcome.
Yeah, Piglet and Impact both had pretty harsh openings here. Sneaky's Callista and 4 people of CLG.
If Impact, first off, the hook is a mistake, but that happens against a Blitzcrank. Hug the turret against the wall, not against the dangerous place where people could be. That was just a big misplay by Impact, and CLG takes large advantages there. First blood to Xmithy, which means despite all the lane tomfoolery, he gets an early jungle item upgrade.
Wow, okay, so Logic Gaming off to a nice, happy start here. Zion with a late trip to bottom lane, only level 1 still, but looks like he's only facing the Corki and already hit level 2 now, so Zion likely to be safe here with the Doran's shield. It is pushing away, though, this wave, so Apollo could build a freeze. And Impact and Rush are heading down to make Zion's life even more difficult.
Rush was making a lot of uninformed invades last week. This looks like a much more team-focused play. He goes quite early,
Flash.
cutting him off, no flash, goodbye.
And Zion Spartan, who do you want to give the kill to? Team Impulse, they will get the assist on everybody, and it's going to go to Apollo. So these guys are, run away.
Not a smart play there by Zion Spartan. Basically suiciding for the CS.
All right.
Get the next one.
You got one.
And that was the unfortunate thing. Instead of maintaining a double jungle while his lane is there, or instead of calling for team support while he's down in that 1v2, he is left completely on an island. And there's nothing good can come of that unless Team Impulse completely abandons the situation. CLG not playing as a team there, and it cost Zion Spartan his life.
All right, so there we go. It's going to be a quick dragon take, which is what we used to see when people sent their dual lane top lane. The other guys got dragon here. And 4.5 minutes in, Impulse will grab this one nice and cleanly. And it's very interesting, just because we're back in the new season, we're back with lane swaps, the different ways these swaps are played.
Oh, yeah.
Because so many times we've seen a laner walk in a lane, try to absorb XP, and now about half the time they get punished very hard for it.
Because at the start of the year, they weren't getting punished at all because everyone was just doing the full free swap. Zion, though, defending his turf here.
No fear at all, but I feel like Rush has Smite up, and he's going to grab it for himself. Down goes the blue buff of CLG, and that's got to be a multi-buff start.
And unless CLG sends Zion Spartan some help, he should not be able to farm. The lane is frozen away from him, and either Zion Spartan puts himself in position where he can die
Again.
or he gets 0 experience. And I don't think he has a choice here, so I'm wondering if Impulse is going to adequately punish that and continually kill him.
I think right now he's playing around the fact that he knows what
Rush was
Jarvan's
very
up
low.
to. Right,
And Rush was
low. I believe Impact was part of that. He got low as well. He's like, okay, I got 30 seconds till he recalls and walks back across. But now Vision's gone. Rush could be anywhere. There's a couple deep wards, though. CLG has held the western jungle pretty nicely. They'll know if Gromps or maybe even Wolves gets done. So for now, Sion is just barely in XP range. Janna, not the best punisher of being greedy in your lanes.
And it looks like Impulse is going to just let that sit 1v2.
Okay. And they see Rush, so Sion's going to be just nice and happy. Nice pink ward there is going to remove some more of the aggressive wards, and Rush says, my jungle's gone.
Yep, it was timely counter-jungled by Xmithy. I mean, completely sacrificing the safety of his solo laner in order to pull off that play. But because Impulse decided not to camp Zion Spartan, it pays off.
Ooh, Impact. Slowed down, but I don't know if there's enough damage. Does a Caspia over the wall? Nothing much gain. Pink ward clear, but Xiao might have something to say about it. Blitzcrank should be able to zone them off pretty successfully. And indeed, CLG gets the first, I believe, pink ward kill of the game. But they're not done. Impact. I'm a little afraid for you, but here comes Rush. Here comes Adrian. Xiao's off to the side as well. This is a bit dangerous. The hook. Oh! It's going to catch Impact. There's a knockup. A lot of damage. Will they get him? Yes, they do. Afromu claims the kill thanks to Ignite. Rush almost dead. Xiao doesn't quite save it. Cleanse flash from Link makes it 2-0.
CLG making some good plays on that side of the map specifically. Big time hooks by Afromu and good follow-up by the rest of CLG. Impact not having a nice debut here after arriving on Tuesday.
Wow, CLG with a lot of support from the crowd for sure. I gotta say, very incredible play. They've kept the freeze on the Callista, by the way. 64 CS, pretty much perfect. Zion Spartan has actually gotten a little bit of minions here. Apollo had to push that one in. And the resulting 4v4 from everyone else leaving the lane, just CLG did a better job of it.
And Zion Spartan is reaching the point where he can actually withstand some of these ganks.
Yeah,
whereas the jungle control by CLG on the blue buff of Impulse is persistent with nothing else. He might try and steal this with his Aerithal, too slow.
Smithy just making sure it does go to his team. Doesn't care too much about who it goes to, and that is a blue buff. Of course, the tier for Link. He's going to make his mana woes not really existent. Plus, he got his own blue from the last fight, I believe, when he killed Impact. So, not a big problem.
Big gold lead for CLG here, 2,000.
Yeah.
Even without a turret kill, is quite high. It's trying to figure this out. Top lane CS
About
combined with
kills.
first blood bonus.
Yeah.
And obviously the dragon isn't showing in the gold value. Plus it doesn't have much real value yet since it's just attack damage ability power, and not much is built up on Impulse yet.
No. Almost nothing here, but looks like they're already looking to make some pressure. Afromood is all over the map right here. Xiao cannot land the juke. He flashes, does make him survive.
Afromood is really on point with this Blitzcrank now. Boots of mobility before Sightstone, running around and trying to make plays. Now keep in mind, he's left Doublelift up there by his lonesome, so Doublelift is over-leveled in a sense, whereas Afromood is severely under-leveled. He needs to continue to make plays as a level 4 Blitzcrank now if they don't want to get punished for this.
We're also seeing, as we talk about Doublelift and we see him hopping around, differing item builds here.
We've seen this from a lot of different Callistas. Space Callista for CJ Entis was, I think, the first player to play that in LCK over in Korea. He would go Infinity Edge first, which I'm not a fan of. I definitely love the attack speed early. That's when I think Callista gets a lot of her early mobility. Whether that's a Blade of the Ruin King or a Hurricane is arguable. I'd say the Callista does need the lifesteal, which is why you normally see a BAM Scepter first. But because of the lane swap situation and the fact that Doublelift has been able to free farm, the Hurricane at this point is the right call, and it gives him so much damage and threat super early in the game.
Look how fast this turret's going down. It's going to fall for certain. Down it goes. Doublelift gets that for himself. And yeah, I kind of want to agree with your point here. There's actually another Korean player, OQ, I believe, who plays for Najin.
Yep.
Similar build when IE Shiv last we saw him play the champion. This is actually the first Hurricane build I've seen in pro play. Was actually
like choose your own adventure for these builds. Blade of the Ruin King first, IE first, or Hurricane first.
Why not? I do like the Hurricane builds, though. I think they are stronger as a personal preference, but we'll have to see as they play out throughout the season.
Well, specifically, we'll definitely get back to the game, but we need to talk about Callista here because it's the first Hurricane first build we've seen. I think the reason Hurricane is so good on Callista is she's so hyper-mobile in 1v1 situations. As a duelist against tanks, she's going to win anyway, so you want to gang up on her. Therefore, she brings Hurricane to hit the people that are ganging up on her.
Yeah, it definitely helps, and of course, just Ren scales with Hurricane just so easily, slowing multiple targets, getting resets more easily. Right, the cooldown comes back if you kill any target with it, so if you can hit a caster minion twice, with passive Hurricane bolts, you get to do more Rens on people. There's a lot of really nice synergies in the build.
As far as the game is concerned, though, the Dragon is up, and CLG now knows exactly when, since Impulse was not taking it on cooldown. And it's all about the mid-game turret pressure here. I wonder if Impulse will be able to recover from their death-filled early game and not forfeit the Dragon for this.
Gonna have to see 2.8 thousand gold lead for Counter Logic, thanks partially to the turret kill here. Zion has teleport. Of course, so does Impact up there, so you'd expect these guys could both show up. All the variables point to the teams being able to battle if they would want to. Problem is no Triforce for Apollo, whereas Hurricane's of course done for Doublelift. Seraph's already combined for Link, so he's even got some nice ability power on himself. Just
very
kind of
squishy.
Going to depend on the willingness of everyone.
Yeah, Link is going to be very squishy. I'm impressed that he's been able to keep his farm with Xerath going early tier on Cassiopeia. It does look like CLG is grouped for the Dragon, though, and they may get this one uncontested.
Now they're going to start, and of course the Callista Ren's going to make that happy if Doublelift does show up here. Looks like Link's going to make that happen. No one's in range to steal. This should go pretty cleanly. There you go.
One of those classic Dragons where you use your smite to secure it. Because Doublelift wasn't finishing this off. And regardless of what happens in this early game, while CLG does have a bit of a lead, I do want to see the team comp interaction because I don't think CLG is so far ahead as to make the compositional differences irrelevant. Impulse will still want to group and set up a siege, and as long as Xiao can get to his needlessly large rod pretty soon, the Xerath poke will really get a large amount of damage, and if Impulse can group during that moment, will still force CLG into an initiation situation against a disengaged heavy team.
True.
Which I want to see if they're far enough ahead to make it work.
Well, right now it looks like people aren't willing to duel anybody. We've had just a completely empty lane against Doublelift. He's done whatever he wanted, pushed turrets down. Now it's going to be mid lane as well. Aftermu zones him away. Look how far back Xiao is forced to play. The fear of a fight happening is actually zoning out more than the Xerath poke would have done.
I mean, we just look at Impact. He's got a little baby build right there, an Amp Tomb and 2 Dorn's Rings.
Uh-oh.
They can't disengage yet.
Good smite.
And they're really denying Xiao's ability to farm in lane. That's one of the reasons Link was able to keep up. If we think back, that's the second blue buff in a row they've stolen.
I want to say it's all 3 since they
wanna
started with the first one. Uh-oh, Xiao, the flash hook! Not going to land. They tried. They tried the ballista. Didn't quite happen this time. Xiao burns his ghost for it. Down goes the cooldown for Doublelift.
Yeah, kind of pay a pretty big price in cooldowns there. I wonder if they get punished now that Afro was without a flash.
Oh, Adrian careful. Gets the silence, flashes just in time, but down goes Afromu. The stun onto Apollo. Will he go down? A lot of damage coming through. Valkyrie's away, not quite in range for it. So Summoner heal wants to get out of that rend range, which is fairly short.
Great stun by Xiao Xerath right there as Afro was trying to aggress. Now they go for red.
Whoa, the flash engaged, the dunk comes in. Nice kick, but Rush, no, he's gonna get the kill onto Xmithy. Gives it to Apollo, beautiful.
Some definite over-aggression there from Xmithy. They were already down Blitzcrank, who was their main playmaker, and they thought they'd be able to punish. Now 2 kills go down onto Apollo's Corki. That's a lot of power from the poke game, as well as another kill going down to Xerath. Those are the people that CLG don't want having gold.
Oh, no way! That was beautiful.
Right through the line of the minions right there. There was the melee minions and the caster minions. And Afromu saw the lane, and he just pulled them in.
Field goal for Afromu. In fantasy, it's only 1.5 points, though.
All right.
What? I thought it was cute.
That's good. We'll take another look at this one. Oh.
And he breaks the Valkyrie, too.
Apollo absolutely thought he was behind the minion line right there.
He walks back forwards.
Not every minion line.
For the superhero.
Still a relatively close game.
It is, it is. So certainly the ability to create something out of nothing really is here on both sides. We've seen these Xerath stuns make great things happen. I think there is some outplay potential in the lineup in general because you can turn around any overcommit. Rush has actually done a great job, I would say, so far as well. 3 assists to his name, 100% participation. He's already at like 98% over the first week, so he's still the playmaker for sure. They just got to keep him getting strangled out by Counterlogic Gaming. No turret still for Impulse, which you got to expect is not what they wanted to start this game like.
No, I mean, Team Impulse has 4/5 of the Dignitas composition from game 1. And even though this game is showing much more aggression, mainly from CLG's side, the ability for Impulse to make plays is very much matching Dignitas' ability to make plays in that first game. It's not all in the composition, it's just the fact that with this composition, if you fall behind early, it is really difficult to set up siege plays, especially now that they've lost control of their jungle and their outer tier of turrets. If Impulse wants to push up and set up a siege in the mid lane, they're at a ridiculous risk to flanks. It's almost impossible for them to make that move.
Yeah, Boots of Moby, Blitzcrank actually going to spot Rush, gets kicked into the turret though, takes some poke, gets ulted away, Doublelift will save his teammate. But look at that, the amount of scariness Afro's got to deal with.
Yeah, and just an update to our Doublelift / Callista build discussion from earlier. Freeze in the European LCS also started Hurricane. So.
Forgot about that one.
What a hook.
Adrian, nice hook. Afromu gets turned it back around on, though. Good vengeance there by Apollo. Turret's still on fire, though. Doublelift just not taking damage. Plenty of siege still happening, despite the fact that this isn't necessarily what the comp is supposed to do. Counter Logic Gaming playing up into the face of their opponents. Now once again, Aframu's dead. They're staying aggressive though, and this bit them in the back last time. Some good damage onto Apollo, and out they go.
Yeah, as long as they're not super hard engaging blindly, they'll be okay. They have some vision here.
Oh, knock up onto Rush. There's so much damage available. Just gets away with 100 health, but the poison!
Wow.
Not quite enough.
So close. Impulse on a knife's edge here, trying to just withstand the barrage of aggression from CLG. They're really taking it to him as well. Good vision control in the jungle means more catch is possible, and they need to keep taking down these turrets.
This one's going to be falling for sure, but mid lane is under fire as well. Impact and Xiao had something to say about the mid lane. Teleport from Zion Spartan comes in towards the mid, though. They want to re-engage this. Xiao forced to ghost away. Zion sees him, gets stunned up, takes a poke, but he's so tanky. Impact takes a hook, ults himself, will go down. Link claims another.
Feels like Aframu's hook accuracy is really high this game when compared to most Blitzcranks we see. He is landing so many of them. As long as he doesn't flash before he tries to hook, it's good in this one.
Doublelift sees Rush. He wants this duel, gets chilling, smited. He's going to chill out from this one. Rush is going to get away. But mid under fire, CLG relentless this game. And Tip missing. Oh, the flash hook! They got him! Xiao goes down. That was beautiful.
The ballista play pulled off perfectly right there. That'll cascade into the second dragon for CLG. Some flash to their plays this week.
Man, well, you said as long as they don't flash, the plays work fine. Looks like that was enough for him here.
This is one of those things, Blitzcrank and Callista, that you see the champion kits and you and your buddy go play in a team builder game and you say, all right, we're going to pull this off. You don't expect to see it in an LCS Pro match. You really don't. It takes so much trust in each other to be able to pull this off. It was a large clump of Impulse. To their fault, they weren't behind the minion wave as they should have been, and they saw the opportunity. Double and Aframu make a highlight play that people normally only dream of, especially in pro play, and they do it right there.
That is awesome. I wonder actually how many pointers Doublelift himself gave Afro for the Blitzcrank play, since that was Doublelift's old claim to fame before he was the AD carry of Counter Logic Gaming. He was a really high-level Blitzcrank main. Only played them.
Yeah, back
I wonder.
one.
Now, is Afro's Blitz better than Doubles ever was?
I don't think we even have to go there. They're teammates, Frank. It's not everything.
It's a friendly rivalry.
Yeah, if anything, Doublelift said, hook the man, and Aframu said, okay.
Afro, though, for all his aggression, is getting poked out a little bit. 20-minute Baron attempt, though. Smithy has taken a lot of damage. Link has to tank some of this. Scryingum's going to spot them, though, and they have to run away from Xiao. Oh, yeah.
A nice attempt to Baron sneak, honestly. That's one of the things they would need if they want to start closing this game out against an Impulse team composition, which will be hard to close on. Finally, Impulse gets that first turret because of the risk CLG took to try and sneak that Baron.
Really good instincts by Apollo to hit 4. On top of the Baron pit, there's the clear on the Scuttler, so there's about a minute and a half cooldown on trying any more Baron sneaks. No way CLG can get away from that. Red buff to double. Got a Zerk Greaves, he's scaling up nicely. And we're seeing it start to go, I would say, pacing-wise, a bit back towards Team Impulse. It feels like they've stopped hemorrhaging so many turrets and kills. Maybe that's just because the Baron sneak got thrown off, but...
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's an investment that gets punished a little bit by CLG, and for all the flashy plays that CLG is throwing down here, the fact remains these compositions are very divergent in what they want to do.
And they're still both online. Like, they can both do what they want to do. They're not... Neither stifled out. So, Impact. Bottom lane split push. Not answered right now, actually. He's going to get some unanswered pressure here. CLG want the top lane as a result, though. Impact will have to TP if they want to defend this before too long. Now, the wave coming in about 10 seconds. CLG's going to tank this turret up. Looks like they are under no threat at all. And down goes a turret again for CLG. Great rotation.
Yeah, honestly, I think Impulse is trying to get a fair bit of gold here. They have to make it to defend this, though. And that time, the Ballista does not pay off. Doublelift playing very confidently right now. dodging everything.
He does not care that people can throw skill shots at him.
Keep in mind, though, Impact's still going to push. So unless CLG is willing to dive that inhibitor turret 4v5 with the teleport up, they have to stop their push.
Yeah, without Flash on Blitz, without a Callista ult, I feel like that's going to be unsuccessful pretty soon. CLG, though, say, hey, remember this Baron that we tried for before? We might try again. Clear the wards. Be
And
warned.
it depends about the depth of their vision control as well, which they're starting to get.
Yeah, great wards in the western jungle. CLG can spot all the approaches there. Dragon not on the table right now. Southern jungle doesn't mean nearly as much. Looks like Zion will get this farm back, although Impact was down heavily in that matchup of the Lulu versus Zion matchup. That whole split push caught him back up to parity here. Bought himself a Magi Soul Stealer, by the way. I was most recent recall, so
Well,
we'll see if that pays
I
off.
completely agree with that purchase. One thing to note, though, with the new Magi Soul Stealer, it does start with 5 stacks. It's almost gold efficient. I still think he should have gone for Void Staff components or Death Cap components just for the guaranteed power, seeing as they are already far behind. But at this point, he is almost banking on a CLG mistake, because that is the only way he can reasonably get stacks on Lulu.
Yeah, I guess if you
hoping that transitions into a win.
Yeah, I guess if you expect that Impulse thinks they're going to lose unless they catch a mistake, they make that mistake mean a whole lot more if you get 5 Magi stacks off of it. So that's the risk he's taking. Will CLG play into this? Will they give them that one bad team fight that opens the game right back up? The CLG on the inside track to the top lane over here. There's no one to answer. This turret's going to lose a lot of health. There's the teleport as well, keeping the minion healthy. And here we go.
Yeah, this is one of the hardest turrets to get against Azerath, and they just out-rotated the crap out of Impulse. They need to be able to finish that off, and they do.
In comes Lee Sin. This could be a fight. Kicks him into 2. Smithy low on health. Double gets exhausted, making his jumps a bit slower. Fewer between. But out they go. CLG got an inhibitor turret. Rushes ward spots the team. The Q's going to land. Double still wants to deal damage. They're getting poked back by Xiao Wei Xiao. Stun on a Blitzcrank. Hook's going to dodge. Nice move by Rush to get away from that one. Nice attempt by Afro. Trigger spots all of CLG at half health. Impulse are healthier right now. There's the attempted engage. Look for Xiao Wei Xiao. They're gonna see him. There's the knockup, but is the counterattack too much? Rush forced away on the side. Double chasing him down over there, but he hooks someone back in. Flash away from Janet. Smithy is now low. He's one hit from dead. Can they make that happen?
Link!
The 2-man stun from Link. Down goes Xiao Wei Xiao. Down goes Apollo. And Team Impulse could not make that happen.
Link with the turn. You could see how well Impulse was peeling right there. Because Afro didn't get the cleanest engage, they were starting to turn it around. But then Link, the great equalizer right there with the Cassiopeia ultimate, taking down 2 and giving CLG this inhibitor.
And there you go. Well-earned counter logic gaming. Of course, Double can't hop that wall, so back he goes. Quick, safe recalls, no other big risks, but an inhibitor dead and Dragon being up means CLG wants to heal up. Go back to full power here. Before they steal some buffs away, they're kind of staggering their recalls, which worries me slightly. They'll be without Link and without, I believe it's, well, Afro's back now, but without Link for a long time now.
I think they'll be all right. We know that Impulse can't make many plays on their own. Take another look at this one. Yeah, it was a nice throw by Afro, but he couldn't get the immediate combo right there. It was another good hook onto Adrian to stop his Janna ultimate, but as we see, the disengage had happened, and COD can only engage in so many ways. As Impulse wanted to turn that one around, though, Link found the perfect Cassiopeia ultimate on 2 priority targets, too, which is really what turned that fight.
Only 2 damage dealers. Absolutely beautiful. That's going to be Dragon number 3 for Counter Logic Gaming. They're going to move even faster here. They clear the wards away. A very well-controlled game from these guys. Glimmers of hope for Team Impulse, certainly, but never enough to make you think they're in the driver's seat.
Well, from minute 1, COG's just been making plays. And I think it's always been a calling card of COG when they're at their best. All the big highlight plays when they look like they're going to become a top-tier LCS teams over the years is when they're willing to take risks and they're working. And right now they're very willing to take risks, and they are working. So this is looking like an incredibly strong COG at the moment, as long as they can close this one out.
Well, they're going to try to use Baron to make that happen. Looks like Double if not taking too much damage. They put it in the Fog of War. Zerathos going to see the team. Low chance of a steal. And Ren's going to make that happen. Baron goes to Counter Logic Gaming, 8,000 gold lead, 3 dragons to 1. Everything their way, and you figure with Baron, maybe they close it out soon.
Yeah, they already have one inhibitor down in the top lane. The easiest move for them is straight to the bottom lane. They're going to want to get that lane shoving as soon as possible, though. Interesting choice not to recall, since they're all sitting on close to 1,000 gold. But if they can get a hook, it's time to go.
They caught him, and down he goes. Turret's going to be theirs. A little bit of poke, but who really cares? Down goes mid lane tier 2. 7 turret pickups for Counter Logic Gaming, and now without a jungler, they might stay even further.
Yeah, the long-range minion. They know rushes. The only person who can actually initiate for Impulse, down for another 15 seconds. Let's see how well they can keep them back from this turret. CLG might want to go in here.
I'm going to try knock up on Aftermoon's not going to find himself a hook, but the inhibitor turret will go down. Rush up in 2 seconds, but it's not going to be in time. 2 inhibitors now dead. Counter Logic Gaming in complete control here.
It's looking like a great clean win here for CLG. Honestly, just a great performance. The Blitzcrank play by Aftermoon has made so many plays, and Link is someone who is having a very strong performance. Obviously, he was aided heavily by the blue buff denial that CLG had on Xiao Xereth, but the team fight ability of his Cassiopeia, flashing over walls to clean up many kills, and also building heavily glass cannon early on with the straight tier into the upgrade, are very good signs for CLG, since Link's play has fallen under much criticism in the past.
And he's been super consistent this game. I'm actually really impressed as well, considering he was facing Lee Sin Xereth. You gotta feel like those two could punish a slower mage like Cassiopeia. Did not happen. Props to Link for sure, just echoing what you're saying. 30 minutes in, Counter Logic Gaming looking for their 3rd and final inhibitor kill here. Zion Spartan, I think, has yet to ult this game.
I was just going to say that. We haven't heard the Scion sound a single time. So all much ado about nothing, apparently, for the first week of Zion Spartan's play. He's going to come in, he's going to be Scion. And CLG's going to play great. Not to say it's not a great acquisition for them, but this week it is the team that is winning for CLG.
And there we go, the flash hook. Yep, they got him. Xiao flashed the way safely, but in comes Sion and Jar when he popped the ult for that one. In goes the fight. Can they get much more? Janna is dead. Apollo is soon to follow. Yep, down he goes too. 2 for nothing in this fight. They can ride the minions into the Nexus. They're going to stay for the inhib for now, but again, they could go for more than just fantasy points. And here we go. More kills, because why not, Counter Logic Gaming? This game is well in control. Link 1 hit away. Pops the shield. Jukes it all. Uh-oh. 1 more shot, right?
Aftermoon wants to get one off the fountain. Nope. Not today, but CLG with a nice win over Impulse.
30 minutes and 30 seconds. A very well-earned victory by Counter Logic Gaming, controlled from start to finish. One of the more interesting level 1s I've seen in a while.
Yeah. The New Age freeze from CLG. Leaving a few minions, it makes the freeze easier, as well as having presence for the early jungling mid.
Yeah.
I think we actually going to see that from multiple teams in the future.
Yeah, that was really clever.
It is a nice, clever move, and you could tell that Impact did not react to that properly whatsoever. Obviously, Blitzcrank hook is one thing, but measuring when 4 people in your jungle, and you can't have backup that early, because either he needs to completely abandon or just give it up. But it was the performance in general here from CLG.